Good afternoon. Jim Cooper here, editor-in-chief at Digiday, and we're on the first afternoon of the first day of Possible 2024. I'm here with Ryan Detert, who is the CEO of Influential, and we're really happy to have you here, Ryan. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. This is great.
Okay, so at Digiday, we spent a ton of time thinking about the social graph and social platforms. Where are we in the social journey, and is the creator and social economy in a place where you're excited about it and moving forward, and as an economic engine going forward for the media business?
I mean, the creator economy is growing exponentially year over year. So the total addressable market, the TAM, I believe is upwards of $35 billion with a B. So we're in the right place at the right time if you're anywhere even adjacent to influencer marketing. And we always see it as a media buy on social. Influencers' name, image, and likeness tied to custom audiences, amplified across all major social platforms, even off-platform, digital out of home. How do you find ways to reach that audience wherever they live with authentic content that makes a lot of sense for XYZ brand?
Do you think that media agencies and brands are far enough along in understanding the power of social media?
I think most CMOs now are either being tasked or walking into their jobs with, I have a solution, or at least a POV to some degree. And it is a multi-level piece. There is the awareness PR lens, there is the media and content lens, there is the affiliate lens. All of that, it kind of bleeds into influencer marketing as a title. I will say that more and more brands are thinking about kind of AOR, center of excellence strategies, where it's not just a one-off campaign to see if it works, but how do they maximize an always-on strategy to tap creators 24/7 to speak on behalf of their brands.
So, and then are media agencies helping in that conversation? We've started to notice that media agencies are really trying to incorporate social in how they're consulting with their clients.
Yeah, it's really across the board. So brands directly are figuring out their own internal strategy. They're tapping their agencies, the media agencies. We align well with them because we're thinking about this the same way they are, which is how do I figure out my audience first? They're an audience first kind of POV. And then you figure out whether it's the celebrity with 100 million followers, or more often the macro creators that have tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of followers, marrying that to the paid media. So we tap really well with all the 5 big major holdcos. And then those holdcos are saying to the brands back, we're seeing better ROAS, ROI on these campaigns. Let's double down for next quarter. So it's been this kind of forever growth piece. I don't see it plateauing anytime soon.
What impact will the deprecation of the third-party cookie have on influencer marketing?
So the good news about the social platforms and influencer marketing is that you cannot cap the ability to reach audiences natively. Now, what you do have is the ability to do custom audience uploads of footfall, in-store sales, TV tune-in, to target people in a more granular way. Some of that has been deprecated, not all of it. A good portion of it has been put to the side, but all that means, instead of maybe having 100 million people that have opted into a network, you've got 50 million, so it's basically halved the number of people that have access to it. But you can still do those same measurements for footfall and those pieces, online and offline piece. So I think influencer marketing is insulated from it more than anyone else is, and there's still an existing ability and infrastructure. Even if it shrinks, it's still the opportunity to hit those audiences still exist.
So we were barely talking about AI last year at Possible. This year, it's maybe a dozen panels are AI themed. How do you see influencer marketing and AI evolving together?
Well, we've been fortunate. We saw the opportunity back in 2015. So we're OG AI back in the IBM Watson days. Now more in the generative AI, open AI kind of sources. We're seeing the use case of it go from influencer sourcing, which was the first version of this, using the multiple different data points that you can only be done at a computing level that an AI can find the right influencer to speak to that audience for a brand. It's now evolved into how to use AI to identify brand safety issues for an influencer based off of profanity, nudity, hate speech, politicals, for DUIs and felonies, for blogs. All of that can now use different tools, whether it's your own ML or AI from different API sources. The evolution of AI, while it's always been the sexy kind of framework for how everyone says that their platform does things, it's now that plus what is the actual operational upside you get from lessening the number of people it takes to vet someone or to communicate with someone and have that be back and forth in a very streamlined way.
So this is a really complicated year. It's an election year. How do you think the presidential election will affect influencer marketing, good or bad?
Well, I think actually all parties are being mindful of people's security and data compliance and things of that nature. You may see an increase in communications depending on who wins on this coming year. But I would say ultimately this: an audience, whether they're red, whether they're blue, whether they're in between, they're purple, it doesn't make a difference. They all want to buy products. They all want to find ways to connect with connect with brands that speak to them in a certain way. I think influencer marketing is democratized, and to be honest, most brands ask us to pick creators that are not politically minded because they don't want to be on either side. That's not their point. Is to get across a PG, authentic, emotionally driven message that is not based on politics. So I think our business stays the same and continues to grow. But I think certain creators, certain celebrities that maybe tap into that political spectrum may or may not get or make more or less money in deals.
So what do you think is going to be the most important conversation you have here at Possible, but also looking forward to Cannes?
Well, I'll plug my own thing I'm doing. I'll be on stage with Molly Batlin from Home Depot, the CMO of Home Depot, as well as Nicole Anderson. So we'll be talking about all things commerce, creators, retail media networks. I think creator commerce is the one thing I take away is if I want to find a way to most effectively tap into the zeitgeist of culture and have someone speak on behalf of my brand and measure whether or not it led to sales, if you've cracked that code, which we've done for many of our clients, you open up a coffer of spend and return on ad spend if you're a brand better than any other medium that's out there. So I think creator commerce will be the talk of the town for the next couple of years.
All right. Ryan Detert is CEO of Influential. Ryan, thanks so much for the time. It was really interesting.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We'll look forward to that panel at Cannes.
Awesome.